This is going to be a full explanation of all combat forever. L1 slows down time, and it allows you to access 5 of your Witcher skills. My build mainly focuses on using Quen with very... I'm pretty much not going to be going for any of these other ones. And you'll see why in a minute here. We can't really use Swallow, or Thunderbolt, or Tawny Oil, or Full Moon, but you can use all 4 of them as a trade-off for one of the decoctions I normally run. But I'm not going to get into that. My build is my build, and it shall remain secretive. However, this is more in a video for somebody first starting out. Alright, so you kind of want to get a nice open field right now. Somewhere that you can stand. Or if you haven't gotten to Vesemir yet, you can use him as a practice dummy. Just don't follow any of his instructions, though, when you're fighting him. Just actually fight the guy and get good at that, and then follow the instructions. If you're getting your butt whooped by Vesemir, you don't know the basics. Alright, so enemies have to be within a certain range for you to start fighting them. Usually they have to be about where that lady is. Sometimes you might even have to get about this close. When you've gotten this close, you're in their danger zone. Anywhere around a circle around them. And give them a pretty huge circle. This is like a small circle. Now she's at medium. That's a large circle. And now I'm out of her radius. Right here is about out of her radius. Her attack range shouldn't be able to get me here. You see how that works? Alright. You're going to want to normally, when you're manipulating the camera, you're going to want to swing it around if something's behind you, and then swing it back. So you're going to want to practice that part. Just swinging your camera around on a horizontal radius. And you want to keep your camera in line with the ground, just above the ground level. So like you would look normally, left and right, only you can see all the way around your character in this game. But you want to get really used to moving the camera around, seeing how hard you have to press it to get it to do any given thing. But you're not going to be moving it around a whole lot in fights. Alright, next we're going to do a button check. Alright, so here's the button check. First, you're going to try to make Geralt jump. For most of you, if you're on controller, this is going to be your right button on the right side, your right button. You also have a left button, which makes Geralt punch. You have an upper button, which does a heavy attack. Mostly that will trigger fights. So you don't want to be pressing those buttons too often unless otherwise instructed. If you're in a fight, you're definitely going to be wanting using those buttons more than anything else. If you're playing with your swords. This does not apply to anybody who is going to be casting a whole lot. If you're casting a whole lot, there's a whole different way to fighting, and you're not going to want to watch this video. But if you mainly just use your swords, this is basically for you guys. But everybody should be able to relatively get past most of these sections, regardless of your build. So anyway, as I was saying, here we go. You're going to want to jump, you're going to want to punch, and you're going to want to heavy attack. You should be able to do all of those buttons. Once you've completed those buttons, you'll see that you're standing a little bit more towards any given object than you were before. Like this. That's your left, right button. So there's the right side of the controller, which has all your buttons, and the left side, which has your D-pad. So if somebody says left D-pad, that's going to not be the punch button. Your punch button should be something you are very familiar with deploying. You need to understand how much range Geralt has. He can't get too far. So if I was going to attack somebody, I would want to be like pressed up right here. I would want to be pressed up here if I'm going to hit somebody. But you know, they could also dodge. So what you would do is dodge like that with them. So whatever direction they dodge, you to catch them really off guard, you want to dodge in that same direction. And then if they see that coming, then you're going to want to dodge again so that they whiff. And then you're going to maybe even want to like triangular come back here to get some distance. Those are all things you should be able to maneuver / be able to deploy at the completion of this. Alright, so your first button is your punching button on the right side. Your second button is your strong punching button / strong hitting button. Then you're going to want to jump, which is your third button over there. That one's all the way to the right. The strong hit button is the triangle, or the upper button. And your interacting thing, how you like talk to people.
Stay away from me and my family.
You'll
Ours is a decent village.
You'll press X, so she'll talk. You'll know that you're doing it. You'll know that you're doing it right if they start talking to you.
Village.
But she only has 2 lines. But yeah, you can also use that to pick up items. Like if you see some flowers, you want to pick up some flowers. So that's a good test. Go around picking some flowers. And this is your movement button. You're going to want to use the left stick. There's 2 sticks at the bottom if you're on controller. This will be your left one. And the camera is your right. Alright, so now you have the sticks. You have the punching buttons. Now, what does it look like? What is the difference between the hitting square and hitting strong attack? Well, I'll show you. So, I'm really going to try to find a battle to demonstrate what I'm talking about later. But if I'm going to be running around like this, which is usually my #1 defense, is Geralt can run for perceivably forever. So in a fight, you're going to want to run in, trigger the fight, and then run back out. And you're going to be wanting to be in this running stance, this sprinting stance. So in order to do that, you're going to have to press down on the left stick. And then you'll be running. See how that works? And then, like, let's pretend this bush over here that I'm looking at, this one right here, let's pretend that's an enemy. So my normal approach will be to come in like this and either dodge that way, or I'll dodge that way. If he takes a swing at me, I'm going to dodge again, because I can spam it as many times as I feel like. And then he's going to get stuck in some ass animation or whatever. What do you think I'm going to need to do if I'm standing here? If you thought, I'll use a fast attack, you will whiff. But if you instead run at him first and use a heavy attack, I can actually hit the flower like I just did. So I can hit him in that state. You see that? You're going to want to be accurate at hitting these flowers. So that was a whiff, because you see how I didn't quite get there? See how I'm standing right here and I didn't quite get into his hitbox? But if you come like this and then like that, look where I am. I'm right on top of his hitbox. Right here. You see the difference? You're going to want to be really good at that approach. So in that case, you would run and use triangle. I I like to make it so that instead of getting right on his hitbox, he's going to fall into it when he tries to dodge it instead. And in combat, Geralt does this little sweep thing out in front of him. So it hits for a decent range, like where these flowers are, and where I am is usually where you can hit it. So if you see somebody coming up in this little area right where these flowers are in relation to Geralt, if you see somebody coming at that box right there and right in front of your chest, if you start the strong attack from there, you're gonna whiff it. But if you hit the fast attack, you're gonna hit them. You see how that works? But if you start from here, as you come forward, they're gonna be closing the distance at that point, so the flowers will be looking like they're here. It'll look like, hold on, I'm really bad at specific. It'll look like they're right here, right? And you'll hit them. You see how that works? But you just want to get really good at fighting the flowers. To anybody playing on the first difficulty, it's really not going to be that hard for you because the enemies are like really squishy most of the time. The only people who are going to give you a tough time are the Wild Hunt and certain members of the Wild Hunt, some of the boss fights. You're going to have a tough time if you don't have these basics down. Alright, so then your D-pad is just for deploying potions. I don't do that very often, unless I'm getting rid of one of my decos, which I have at the top left. As you can see, I'm using 4 of them. See that? There's always permanently those 4 circles up there with potions. Those are called decoctions. You get those for completing contracts and having the mutagens for it. You basically have to kill one of every species in the game. So if you encounter a succubi, sorry buddy, you're going to have to pick a favorite and put one of them down for the sake of the mutagen. Don't forget about that. And but here's some more basics. So you just want to run around. You want to get used to jumping because this will be your dodge. All right, now we're gonna go to the combat. How do I actually approach combat? What am I gonna do if I see an enemy? I'll tell you, but it's gonna change. You're gonna have to learn all the whole game by reading everything and just playing it like an RPG. And stuff like that. So here we go. We're gonna go to. Where are we gonna go? Let's go to here because we have to travel out, and then we're gonna go and fight Short because he's a good practice dummy. It might also be possible to respawn him with meditation, but if I haven't tried that yet actually, so might as well get that settled. I think he's a special case because Short is, yeah, you have to for Short actually specifically you have to travel in and out of the region in order to get him to spawn.
My gran told me about
He did not spawn in. That is weird. Alright, let's see if meditation works. Seems to be that he is on some sort of cooldown system. That's weird. Let's try traveling to here and seeing if we can get him to spawn. I'm really annoyed that I can't just immediately call up a fight. If I had a PC in a mod menu, I could just get any old idiot that I really just wish I had an enemy spawner in this game. Like when you hit a certain level in the post game, like you unlock level 100, you could just enemy spawn people. That would be awesome. But nah, you can't do that. You know what else you can't do? You can't put the Hen Gaith mask underneath the hood for the cat school gear and look like Deadpool. You can't do those things. Anyway, see how I have short like in my field of vision? From this point forward, as soon as your sword is deployed, you're pretty much in the fight. You see how now Geralt is doing this dodge move? You're gonna want to get really good at dodging this idiot. See how he can't hit me because I keep dodging out of the way? You want to get that good. And enemies will just try to take swipes at you while you're doing this. You want to keep the enemy in your field of vision in front of you at all times. That way you have the full advantage of him doing stuff like that. Alright, he got a good hit in. See how he's near a bunch of people and it's really claustrophobic right here? It's sometimes better to lure an enemy more outside of that area so you can get, like right here, more room to fight him. It looks like he's getting trapped on some people. Alright. Your dodge button is your circle button, the one on the right. You kind of want to spam that while also choosing what direction you want to do it in with, you know, any given command. Alright. He seems to have pressed me a little bit harder than I anticipated. So let's just change that. So this is a trick. You see how I did that? I just pretty much demonstrated what I meant by what the proper distance for attacking is. I'll try to explain it better and get into another fight with this idiot. So I think we need to get all the way to Toussaint because Toussaint seems to play a big role in resetting stuff. Oh, yeah, I remember why that it didn't work. We have to go out of the region, so we have to go to Toussaint. Alright. So I have pretty much no health, as you can see here, so we're just going to let my deco fix that really quick. One of them is called the Troll Decoction, and it says I heal at all times. I heal slower in battle, though, so you gotta keep that in mind. I'm also level 100, so all these fights are gonna look real easy, but you might have to hit people like 7 or 8 times to kill them, even more than that. And beware of the Dettlaff fight, because all of the fundamentals I talk about with the whole dodging thing, yeah, you can't do that to his bats. His bats will kill you while you're doing that. So instead you gotta, I think, dodge roll him or some weird kooky stuff at a very specific timing, which makes this fight a huge pain in the butt. But if you figure out how to not get hit by his bats, he's pretty easy. I wish I could replay that fight, honestly. Wonder how I would do. This also, all of these fundamentals that I'm showing here are gonna be stuff that you might struggle with, believe it or not. So one of the things you kind of want to get a good handle on is pressing your start button. Your start button is going to bring up this menu, and that one's going to be right by your right buttons. It's going to be somewhere near there, in the middle of your controller, towards the edges near the triggers maybe, but it's going to be somewhere in that radius, and it'll say start or options or settings or something. You're going to want to press that, and it'll bring this stuff up, right? Then, before any fight, ever, you're going to put a save point, so that if you mess it up, you get to come right back to it. Like this. See how he spawned in like this? You see how I'm doing this to him, where he can't hit me, and then I'm hitting him? You see that technique? That's what I mean. So in order to learn that technique, it's pretty simple. When you get an enemy about, like, right in front of you, like these flowers, for example, you'll be able to do that. Oh yeah, I forgot, you could take out your sword in the field and practice with your sword. Alright, here we go. So we're gonna be in battle mode, right? So as long as you're doing this, you should be able to dodge at least one time. So you want to just get used to this movement. You're going to attack, and then you're going to back dodge. So you're going to press square, back dodge. Press square, back dodge. Press square, you see? And then you can keep coming this way. But you don't want to have Geralt do that. You want to go wham, wham, wham. Why is he not? Oh yeah, it's because he's not aiming anything. But anyway, if he was locked onto something, like some dogs, for example, you would hit square, back. Hit square, back. Like that. So, you can also do that. Like, that is actually viable. So if you have a guy right here, and you go like this, and Geralt turns around, and then you like hold back like that, you'll change Geralt's direction. So you see how you can attack in one direction and then suddenly attack in another one? So if you hold the direction you attack in, he's going to follow where that is. So that's why you have to be really good at moving around with this left stick. Because anywhere you're pointing where you're moving is where he's going to strike. You see that? So I want to hit these flowers. I still want to hit these flowers. You can also do this so that you're attacking two angles, but you kind of really want to be focused on back-forward momentum. So what I mean is you're going to want to aim here, aim towards the flowers with your movement stick, not your camera. You see I'm not moving my camera a whole lot like this? I don't have my thumb on it unless I need to correct it. So if I'm losing my target, if he's coming over here, you're going to want to full send your right camera so it goes either right or left. You really don't need to have a whole lot of camera movement to be good at it, right? You just need to be able to keep those bushes kind of towards the middle of your field of vision. So imagine those white flowers right there are my enemy. You kind of want to stay here. This is the safe zone. That enemy's never gonna in a million years, unless he's Dettlaff, hit you from that range. All the stuff I'm telling you, it does not apply to Dettlaff. So have fun with that. Yeah, you kind of just want to come in. If somebody's coming at you, you want to respond in whichever direction that is in. The quick attack is more likely to land if an enemy is already in the middle of their attack animation. So, if this guy is charging me, he's dead. If I'm standing here and he initiates a move, if he tries to, jump for biting me or something like that, he's gonna get caught up in either this or this. You see how that works? Alright, now we're gonna try traveling back to Toussaint and spawning in short again. Or whatever. Because I think we already just killed him. Oh wait, we don't have to do that. Here's the manual save slot with the short spawn. Alright, here we go again. We're gonna do the basics. So we have short spawned in. There he is. Because we created the save point, remember? Never want to forget that you created a save point. And you have to remember when you saved last. So I would recommend making sure to only make a save point in front of the most recent activity you're doing. Alright, so we killed him there. Alright. We're gonna fight him again, so you can see how am I moving. why am I doing any of this stuff? Alright. Here's short. You can initiate the fight by hopping this fence. Alright. First things first, I already get a Quen shield for entering the fight. The Quen shield also protected me against a second hit, believe it or not, but at the cost of some health. Alright, now we have our Quen shield on, which means that we can go in for some free damage. You see how he missed me there? It was because I was mid-dodge. I usually try to dodge, and if he's getting too close, I go like this. You see how I did that? So the combo for that is dodge forward, X, dodge forward, X, dodge forward, X, and you can go into that longer roll. Dodge forward X will also put me at the perfect range for a follow-up strong attack, which they will eat every time. You see how that works? Alright, I'm going to demonstrate that same concept again. So, when you're in a fight, you're going to press circle, X, circle, or right side button, bottom right side button, right side button. Alright, here we go. You see how I'm constantly dodging like this? This is called Geralt's Dance. You're going to want to get really good at it. I can also go diagonal like this. You see how that works? You see how his feet are moving? See how we're just luring this guy all over the place and he can't do anything to me because I'm dodging? See how he missed me there because I'm still dodging this way? He's not going to be able to keep up with all this intense movement I'm doing. And he's just going to whiff every time because I'm just going wherever I feel like. You see how that attack started? See how that attack started? You see how he's initiating attacks and getting stuck in the animation? When you see him doing that, yeah, that was a big bad one right there. So if he charges you like that, right? If he's going to go for the charge, here he goes. He's going to go for the charge. He's going to get frustrated. He's going to go for the charge. See how I let him up the hill? You want to be able to make it so that he cannot hit you a single time while you're just spamming dodge. You want to do this to every enemy. You want to embarrass them with Geralt's Dance. You're not even going to attack them. You're literally just not getting hit. You need to practice that. And once you've gotten good at that, then comes the next step. He's going to initiate, right? He initiated an attack. That's the range I need for a strong attack. I get one of those in and you're dead. See how that works? That's because I'm max level. But you're going to want to get used to that. So how did I do that? Right? We're mainly mashing circle. Right? And I just want you to think of the right side right button as circle. Just always think of it as circle. And think of the right side down button like X. You want to have that be X always. You want your next button over to the left to be square. That one's your fast attack. It'll tell you what button you're supposed to press for fast attack down in the right corner. Literally tells you right there. Strong attack is triangle. You see I'm getting that perfect range every time? The perfect range is if he's I mean, you can kind of see it. You can kind of see where it is. I'm going to tell you when I've hit perfect range, alright? I'm going to say, boop, boop. You see how he also has the ability to hit me in my perfect range? That's why you want to dodge. If you dodge, they can't do that. Alright. Ready? 3. He's not coming here. This is a good range. This is a great range. This is a good range. You see how I whiffed though? And I died. You see? You wanna get that really precise. And if you have a fight like this so that you can just spam over and over and over again, you'll get better each time. And then you want to treat most enemies like this all the time. He's gonna attack here. See how he attacked? See how I pressed triangle right after and he died? It ends like this quickly, folks. It ends this quickly. You gotta make good decisions. So, the perfect range for the heavy attack is right here. When the enemy looks like they're right there, you're gonna want to initiate because they're gonna walk into it. That's what you want to do. So you want to hit it a little early. So like, we're early. He didn't walk into it though. But you see how I was dodging there, so he completely whiffed that? You could have easily followed up there. You see how that works? You see how I hit him twice? I was mainly just mashing circle and hitting triangle. That is all you have to do. You shouldn't really need to use this unless you're fighting other enemies, like dogs. Dogs are gonna be a different case entirely. But yeah. Alright, now I'm gonna introduce you to a new concept. Once you've mastered all these basics of dodging around enemies, doing the bottom button for dodge roll. The bottom button is dodge roll, so you're going to be hitting X, and it does this dodge roll. You can also do that twice. You can pretty much spam anything. Dodge roll gets you more distance. So if you get close to an enemy like this, you dodge once, dodge roll. By the time he follows up, you can press triangle, and he'll come into that kill range. This is my kill range. You see that? See how I'm hitting him every time with that? And all I'm doing is hitting triangle. That's it. That's it, folks. All I'm doing is hitting triangle. So this is the code. Ready? It's backwards, triangle. Just like that. Just like how I did it. Backwards, and then triangle right after the backwards. Triangle. Backwards, triangle. Backwards, triangle. So you see how when I have a sword, backwards, triangle gives me some range right there. Right? If you run into it, triangle. Backwards, triangle. When you've done your one backwards and they're right next to you, if you've done your one backwards, you'll be about that distance. The next time you go for a triangle, you see where it's hitting at, they're going to get close to you. They're going to try to get that counter hit off on you. And when they try to do that, instead of getting it off, they'll just take that slash every time. It's a sweet spot. It's a sweet spot thing that once you get it down, you'll never forget it. You can just sweet spot them every time. And they can't do anything. They have no response to it. None of the enemies in the game can do it. Right? Here it is. Oh no, he hit me. Oh no. Sweet spot. Sweet spot. Sweet spot. And he's dead. Every time, ladies and gentlemen. Every time. And what is he gonna do? Nothing. Nothing. Alright. And so again, it's dodge backwards and then triangle, and that's it. Alright? Alright, so you get up close to him like here. We get our thing. We're gonna roll this time because he went for the charge right away. Sweet spot. Oh, sweet spot. Oh no. Sweet spot. Oh no. Oh no, he hit me that time. Oh no. Oh no. Sweet spot. And he's dead. See how that works? You want to get to the point where you can do that to our boy Short here. And once you can start killing Short in however long it takes you, you will have completed the basic button test. That is the basic button test. If you don't know how to spawn short, you gotta come over here into this pen. There'll be some cows, which there aren't. You're gonna igni those cows, and then you're gonna try to loot them. And if you can't loot them, whatever. And then you're gonna meditate, and you're gonna kill those cows again, because they're gonna spawn some more. And then you're gonna just keep doing that, rinse and repeating, and eventually Short's gonna show up. He gets pissed that you're killing his cows. And then you'll never be able to see cows here again, and he will be the only person that greets you here. And once you can kill this idiot, you can pretty much kill anybody in the game. You should be able to at that point, as if it's not even anything. Mind you, it'll take however long depending on what your build says and where you're at in the game. He's gonna be, I don't even know if he's gonna spawn in regular. I don't know if you have to be New Game Plus, but pretty sure all you gotta do is just do that cows thing, and that's it, and you got access to Short. And yeah, and you'll always be here as a good training buddy for you. You see how I'm like always mashing circle? As soon as I'm done attacking, I'm mashing circle. If I'm initiating an attack, I'm hitting circle, and I'm hitting it. Normally, I'm always hitting it backwards. I just don't want him getting close to me, right? But I want him getting close to me when he's gonna take my sword. That's when I want him close to me. And any other time, I don't want him close to me. So that's what you gotta get used to, is just rinse and repeating this specific battle over and over. And you can once you're able to beat him, you're ready. You're ready for all this game has to offer you. This is just I'm mostly talking about any enemies that you're going to encounter all the way through the whole story. They shouldn't be too rough on you on the very first difficulty. They do a lot to kind of figure out how good you are, and then just get you right there to figuring it out. But you always want to save before every fight so you can try it again, you know? If there's going to be some bad fights.
Not bad.
Like, I got stuck in the environment right there. But I still dodge. Like, I always dodge. In every fight, I'm mostly just spamming dodge. I wait for opportunities where I can hit people, but mostly I just don't want to be fighting you at all, because I'm not trying to get hit. Alright, so now we're gonna go over recasting. So, what happens if I lose my Quen shield, right? Oh no, I get the Quen shield because of my build. You're not gonna get the Quen shield if you don't have my build. You see how I'm just dodging away from him? What am I gonna do if I lost my Quen? That'll look like this. Watch him hit me. Watch what happens. I just lost my Quen. You'll hear that explosion sound. You're going to want to get away from him and keep him away from you, and try to find a good time to hit R2. If it looks like he's gonna hit you while you're hitting R2, then you're gonna still keep dodging. You don't want to be near this guy. You want to be away from him because you have to reapply things. So you're gonna want to be back here for like, oh, I need a potion. I'm coming back here. I'm not letting him hit me. Oh, I need to recast my Quen shield. My Quen shield's not on. What's he gonna do? Oh no, watch. Oh, my Quen's gone. Now I have to be back here again. So I can't let him near me. And he's gonna get close. You see how he's getting right there? And he hit me? You don't want him to be able to do that. Alright. This is the proper distance for the strong attack. And he perished. Because I'm just too strong. So I'm gonna make myself slightly weaker. We're gonna make ourselves slightly weaker here. Alright. Only slightly though, because by golly, we're still so powerful. Alright, I swapped off to the wolf gear. And I'm gonna take Pang. Oops, that's not Pang. Where's Pang? Pang. And we're gonna get the Manticore sword. Alright, here we go. So this is the wolf armor. But oh no, my Quen's gone. What do? First things first, stay away from him. That's the proper range for the strong attack there. You see? You see how I initiated my attack too? Sometimes you can initiate the strong attack and then back out of it by canceling into dodge. So you're gonna want to be hitting circle a lot and just constantly getting out of his way. He's not gonna be able to hit you while you're doing it because it's like it's really powerful. The dodging in this game is broken. I mean, you just saw that I just should have taken that hit. Because I was spamming the dodge move, he did no damage. You see that? Alright. Then you want to get your Quen back up by pressing R2, the back trigger. You're going to be pressing the back trigger. The back right trigger. The back right trigger is your Quen shield. The back right trigger is your Quen shield. Yeah. Now, the upper trigger. The upper trigger is going to throw your bomb. In most cases, if they're any other enemy besides enemies specifically with a bomb resistance of any kind, like Short just doesn't care that I threw the Northern Wind at him. He doesn't take any, he doesn't deal with that. That's what he doesn't deal with. So, normally, that will freeze them in place, and it'll give you time to either reapply your Quen shield or go for an attack for free. What I did there was a special move, alright? I rolled forward and I hit the fast attack. You can hit fast or strong attack, but you always want to start the movement with a dodge forward, attack, dodge back. And same for heavy attack, right? You're gonna want to before you do anything. Let's say you're in a fight here. You're in a fight here, right? Dodge back, and then that's it. And then that. So, you see how that works? You want to get good at that movement. Forward circle, attack, back circle. Forward circle, attack, back circle. Either of your attacks you'll be able to do doing that combo. If the enemy's getting really crunched up on you, then it's back circle, back X. So, yeah. This button that makes Geralt jump, it's backwards, and that button. The button that you press to pick up items is your roll button. That one gives you more distance, and then you can get right back into just dancing around and dodging after you hit that button. And you just want to wait for opportunities where the enemy is just close enough to you within range that when you hit the heavy attack, it'll make Geralt start to run near their location and hit them. And when that happens, you'll hit them. And that's how I'm doing it every time. You want to watch what they do, how they move, and get away from monsters. All monsters, you just want them to get stuck in whatever weird gimmick they have. So he just got stuck in a charge, but he got too far away from me, so I couldn't follow up there. You see how he's getting right there? You see how much distance I had on him in order to hit that heavy attack? And you see how Geralt just ran right into him and hit him? That is how you know you're hitting the sweet spot. When Geralt runs to him and he takes some damage, that is you hitting the sweet spot.